Call to order. Adoption of the agenda. Number one recommendation.
The council adopt the agenda as presented.
Can I get a seconder? Second. Discussion? All in favor? New business, number one recommendation.
The council gives first reading to bylaw 1022-2020 financial plan 2020 to 2024.
Can I have a seconder?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes. Should we discuss anything on this agenda for the budget?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm pretty scared about the cost of this budget. But it is just a budget. It's what we have foreseen for 2020 with the numbers sort of at the start of the virus. We don't know what the future holds for us. We don't know if we're gonna get fair share continued. Like, there's a number of financial things that we really, I feel that we're gonna have to really tighten our belts up with. This is just a budget. Just because it's in the budget doesn't mean we have to spend it, but I think we should really be conservative on what we're spending. That's,
We always are.
but more so than before.
Yeah. Any other questions? Chris?
No, I was just gonna say, Your Worship, maybe just to help with Councillor Smith's mind at ease, you're absolutely right. You know, the budget is just sort of a forecast. We have come in under budget, you know, in the last 3 or 4 years in a row here, so we always do try to do that. I agree with some of your concerns, Councillor Smith. I don't know if the revenue stream is as stable as it previously was. I'm certainly not expecting the full amount of taxes to come in for this year as they sort of regularly do. A lot of the municipal finance officers are feeling the same way, that, you know, because there's that 3-year window for people before they even get into trouble with their properties, that, you know, this year might be the year to put food on the table instead of pay taxes, because they do have time. So, you know, that could affect us. We are guaranteed the income at some point, but you know, the cash may not hit us as fast as it has in previous years. But rest assured, like in every year, you know, we will manage as best we can and make every attempt to come in under budget in all categories. So.
But when I think under budget, with our budget almost $3 million, I'm not thinking of $100,000. Like, to me, that's pennies. Our budget, $3 million for 850 residents. You know what I mean? That's just my 2 cents.
Chris, can you tell us what our budget was for 2019, please?
Yeah.
Let's compare and see.
Expense or
Just to see what we saved on that 2019 budget. Can't remember.
So, the 2019 revenue budget was $3,071,000. The 2019 expense budget was $3.15 million.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor? Number 2 recommendation.
The council gives second reading to bylaw 1022-2020 financial plan 2020-24.
Seconder?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Number 3 recommendation.
The council give third reading to bylaw 1020-20 financial plan 2020 to 2024.
Seconder?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, there is some discussion. You know, it's, I think we have to be careful with every money that we spend. And I'm not comfortable at all with even the concept of tapping into our savings. I'm not. Is there any way that we could pass a motion
Motion for what?
to stipulate that we cannot touch our savings?
No, because if there is unforeseen problems, if we have a major piping or something, or lean bursts, we can't do that, because then we have to make a special motion to be able to tap into those reserves.
Well, that's not bad idea.
Okay, make the motion then.
I would.
I have no plans on tapping into the reserve.
Okay.
God willingly, I have no, I don't want to tap into the reserves. But if we have to, we have to.
But are we
I would-
tapping into the reserves when we're over
No.
where our budget
No.
is 2,000?
No.
Chris?
Yeah, I think I can actually explain that. So the difference between those two numbers on the Schedule A, Councilor Smith, down at the bottom, total expenditures, and then there's the surplus and net transfers. So for this year, we should be adding about 115,000 to the general surplus for this year. So we're collecting on paper more than we're spending, but that same cautionary note a moment ago, right? We're forecasting to collect $273,000 in taxes this year. If 30% of that doesn't come in terms of cash, then that will affect that number as a cash number. So the part of the struggle with our budget is sort of the bottom piece there down at total expenditures is capital and special projects. And I think you guys did a great job a couple of weeks ago in really looking at that number and pushing things that were non-essential out to 2020, and you look at the difference in the two numbers. But the bulk of the rest of the budget is on operational fixed expense side of things. It's heat, light, hydro, fuel for the machinery, salaries, the people that write paychecks and clean the streets. So there's not a lot of padding in terms of the budget. It's what it costs to run a small municipality these days. So, and as you guys know, a lot of our staff already have 2 and in some cases 3 job titles. So we're not even, in my opinion, we're not even heavy on the staff side. We're asking people to do, 2 and 3 things. So where council can make cuts, maybe to come back to what Councillor Smith was talking, is in some of those non-essential things, right? And if we look at somebody like the city of Vancouver or even Prince George, to a certain extent, they've been on the media here these days talking about potential insolvency issues. Well, in my opinion, those municipalities have strayed pretty far away from what the role of a municipality is. Fundamentally speaking, municipalities are responsible for streets, water, sewer. That's about it. So when you start engaging in a lot of expensive social programs or climate change posturing or whatever it may be, that's not the core business of a municipality. And in our case, we don't do a lot of that, but we do some of it. So, the festivals, the Canada Day, that type of stuff. If push comes to shove and we find ourselves in a real revenue crunch, then those would be the first things I'd recommend to council. Do we need to spend 50 grand on Canada Day moving forward? It's great to have, but if the feeling is we can't afford it, we certainly can't keep Canada Day and cut out one of the public works people that plows the streets in the winter.
Can I just stop you for a minute?
Yeah.
Since January 2020, administration has presented the budget, expenses, revenue information to council to review and consideration. To date, each individual sections has been presented to council on 2 occasions. The first being for information and the second being approved. So, and we are today just approving. So, any more questions?
No, I have a motion on the table that,
No, we don't have a motion on the table.
okay.
We want to second this one, but all in favor, then you can do your motion.
Okay,
So you're going to second this?
yeah,
All in
absolutely.
favor? Now do your motion.
make a motion that council does not tap into its, what is it, the reserves, savings?
The general reserves,
Okay, for the purpose,
With
Correct.
5.2 million, it's 5.2 million.
yeah, good. Without the express consent of council.
100%,
Sorry?
100% vote of council.
100%?
I would say 100% vote of council.
a unanimous vote.
Huh?
A unanimous
Unanimous.
vote.
Okay.
All in favor?
Seconder.
Seconder, please.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, number 4 recommendation.
Council give first reading to bylaw 1023-2020, tax rates 2020.
Can I have a seconder?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Number 5 recommendation.
The council give second reading to bylaw 1023-2020, tax rates 2020.
Can I have a seconder?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Recommendation number 6.
Council give third reading to bylaw 1023-2020, tax rates 2020.
Can I have a seconder?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Benjamin, you have something to say, Bert?
No, I'm all those in favor.
Ronnie? Ronnie?
Make a motion to adjourn.